how to have healthy teeth and gums, detrimental and beneficial practices. The father of holistic dentistry. In the early 1900s, there was a dentist named Weston A. Price. He was very troubled with tooth decay and dental problems. He wanted to know why it was becoming more and more common in people. Most people were researching how to repair the problem, but he wanted to know why it was happening in the first place. He set out on a voyage to find out how all the primitive people were not having these issues. So he went to many countries and documented photos and learned how their way of eating affected their own health. He found that the primitive people were not affected by the same health issues and deformities that people in modern life were experiencing. So let's get into the scientific realm of something called the scientific built-in toothbrush. Now this is the concept of we have something called the lymphatic system, which is everywhere in our body, including our teeth. The teeth are fed to the roots of the system. The lymph spins all around the tooth and the enamel. This lymph fluid originates in the intestinal area and flows up to the teeth to get rid of the toxins and remineralize the teeth in that area. Now, lymph also repels negative microorganisms while encouraging the positive growth of the good ones. Now, this system can be disrupted by environmental toxins, poor diet, and other chemicals. Medications as well. Now, when this happens, tooth decay becomes very rampant because this layer of protection is no longer there. Now, when it comes to dental practices, what should we actually avoid? So, number one is going to be surprisingly fluoride. Now, fluoride was originally developed as a thyroid suppressing medication. All right, so this was developed for people with hyperthyroid, and it actually wasn't really used because they quickly developed something different afterwards. But essentially, there are two types of fluoride. You got sodium fluoride and calcium fluoride. Now, calcium fluoride is naturally occurring in certain foods and water, so that's all good. But sodium fluoride, which is a drug and which is what is in our water and all the dental nonsense, is actually very harmful. First of all, it's a direct violation of our consent to take a drug because they just put it in our water like it's nothing. The reason why they have it in our dental products is because it's been shown to be beneficial to our enamel in the 1920s. But in actuality, the type of bone that is built with this is actually very unhealthy. It disrupts an enzyme needed to create collagen, and collagen makes the bones very strong and flexible. So you're left with more bone volume with fluoride, but less strength and flexibility. So the bones are actually kind of brittle. Now, fluoride has many other toxic side effects besides that. It's been shown to damage bones, cause dementia-like systems, and also affect the thyroid. A meta-analysis, which is a collection of many studies done by Everyone Health, shows that fluoride is bad for cognitive development and causes birth defects in children. Next is mercury. We know that mercury vapors are emitted in your body 24/7 with the fillings. Also, that amount increases 1,500% while you're talking on the phone or chewing. Also, drinking hot liquids. And we know that the two things like mercury and fluoride are banned in other countries. They're not even allowed. We know this can lead to a whole host of damages through nerve damage, kidney damage, also respiratory failure. Now, it's a good idea to get mercury removed from our mouths, and if this is done incorrectly, it can actually be kind of harmful. So we actually want to do this from a very intelligent dentist, like a biological dentist, which is someone who's very educated in doing this. Lastly, up is mouthwash. Now, mouthwash commercially is actually very harmful to the oral microbiome. The alcohol in there is like a antibiotic that is destroying all the good bacteria in there as well. Now, when the microbiome is off, you're much more likely to get a disease because the opportunist or disease-causing bacteria are much more prevalent. You can use essential oil-based ones like oregano, thyme, myrrh. All these are very beneficial for the microbiome and teeth overall. So now let's get into beneficial practices. Number one is going to be oil switching, which is a practice that has been done for thousands of years in Ayurvedic medicine. It's basically taking a high-quality oil such as coconut or sesame and swishing this around for 15 minutes. You need anywhere from a teaspoon to a tablespoon. This accomplishes a variety of things. It nourishes the gums and pulls out all the impurities. We know that it whitens teeth and clears all the sinuses. A study done in the Journal of Nigerian Medicine shows that it dramatically reduces plaque and gingivitis. It's also great for balancing the oral microbiome. Number two is tongue scraping, which is also another ancient Ayurvedic practice. It involves using a tongue scraper and scraping tongue back to front. Doing this about 3 times using a copper, steel, or silver tongue scraper. These materials actually have antimicrobial properties within them. This accomplishes is removing food particles and built-up toxins. It also unblocks the taste buds for better taste and smell. Of course, we have to talk about nutrition lastly because this is very important for teeth and overall wellness. The bones that you have are built from the food that you eat, and They require certain nutrients in order to be functioning properly. Among them include vitamin D, K2, omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, and calcium. Foods like organ meats, fatty fish, and green leafy vegetables are rich in these nutrients. Something that's important to note is that our teeth are alive and have the ability to regenerate. This means that if we have a cavity, the saliva can repair it because it's rich in minerals. If you have a minor cavity, it can easily be repaired through remineralization. The food you eat plays a huge role in this, and you also can use some great remineralization powders.